so we'll go ahead and get started here.
All right, we're recording.
All righty. So thanks for joining us tonight. If you're here, that's good because you have power, which is something a lot of us couldn't say a week ago. So kudos to us for being here with power. So we're going to go ahead and get started tonight on our scenarios. So tonight are some kitchen scenario questions, or kitchen appliance question scenarios. So basically, there's a lot of different options when it comes to kitchen appliances. Had a hard time even coming up with what appliances to choose. But if anyone would like to shout out or put in the chat box some of your favorite kitchen appliances or ones that you like to use. When I was growing up, the blender was one of my favorites. So I might be aging myself here, but there's a bunch of different buttons of how you could use the blender, and I thought it was fascinating to see how many buttons I could press on the blender. So I don't know if anyone else, maybe that's totally aging myself, but I'm sure there's blenders now that come with like touch screens and stuff. Let's see, we got mixer, microwave oven. Yeah, microwave oven, so it's so convenient. I don't know how people did it without a microwave before now, but yeah. So our first, a waffle maker. Yeah, I'm more of a pancake person, but waffle maker is definitely handy. See if we got any other appliances. Well, maybe not. Okay, so our first scenario, electric can opener. Yeah, that's, I don't want to, I've heard horror stories about people cutting themselves on cans. So our first scenario tonight is going to be an air fryer, and I don't personally have one, but I was curious to see if anyone out there had an air fryer, because I follow someone on Instagram that cooks with an air fryer a lot, and every time I see it, it just looks so convenient and handy, and make some chicken wings. So Mellanie says she loves it. I might have to pull the trigger. And so we'll look at some of the options that we have for air fryers. If I can pull it up. Okay, I think we're sharing now. So you guys will have 6 minutes, and so I'll give you until 5:15. So go ahead and get started. Zoom in. Go. Oh, that's way too much. Sorry. I'll pause the timer here. Okay. Is that better? Let's scroll down a little bit. screen. Sorry, I don't know why I can't get that. All right, we will restart the timer. So go ahead and get started again. All right, we got less than a minute left. Fifteen seconds. And time. All righty. So what did you guys put? Okay. Looks like we got some different answers there. Sorry about my dog. I don't know if you can hear her. Okay. So if we ask what does reasonably sized mean, I think she means that she doesn't like, she might have to put it somewhere where it might be high up. She might not have a lot of kitchen space. But yeah, so I'm guessing, so that's why, yeah, that's kind of my fault on that one. I wasn't really give specifics on why that was the case, but she just has low space in her kitchen at the moment. Yeah, right, David. Thank you for clarifying. All right, so Jackson, do you want to explain why you chose 2 over 3? Looks like that seems to be the biggest difference between the responses so far. Or Renee.
Well, I think it's number 2 over number 3. Mm-hmm. Both of them are under $100. Number 2 beats number 3 beats number 2 in capacity, but in lightweight and size, number 2 beats number 3. So that's 2 to 1, and so 2 is better than 3.
Okay. David, or is it Wayne? I don't think that's. Do you guys want to explain why you put 3 over 2?
Sure, I'll go ahead. So I placed 3 over 2 due to the fact that she wanted something that could cook a lot of food at once. And in comparison to all of the other I guess items. Item number 2 had the least capacity. So I wanted to take into account, although item number 2 had a lower price, item number 3, a lower price and smaller dimensions, as well as the weight. I placed 3/2 because of the food capacity and the fact that she said she had 3 children. Because I thought that she would want to have a larger, or like she would want at least 1.5 pounds of capacity so that she could feed all 3 children in one sitting, I guess, or like one cooking.
Right. Very good. Thank you, David. Looks like we were pretty consistent on 1 and 4. 3 and 4. Let's see. Okay, so what I had down is that the placing was 3, 2, 1, 4. So air fryer has everything Susan's looking for. It is under her price limit. She can cook enough food for her and her 3 children at one time. The product is fairly light in weight and medium size, allowing her to easily move and store the product. So yeah, they didn't clarify on that necessarily about how much size or space they needed for storage, but that was, I guess, more so in taken into your own consideration there of kind of how you interpreted that. So, but yeah, they, like David said in the chat, you might try to do that contest to kind of maybe throw you off of one product over another. Air fry 2 would be Susan's next best option, even though the air fryer does cook less at a time. It is $100. It is lightweight and is small in size. Air fryer 1 would be right outside Susan's price range. It is fairly larger than air fryer 1. This air fryer just weighs just as much as the air fryer 3 and can even cook half more pound at a time. Air fryer 4, outside of Susan's price range, fairly large and has a lot of weight. Positive to this air fryer that can cook enough for her family, just like air fryer 3. Does anyone have any questions on that? Let's see. David says, one important thing to take away from this class is that you're doing reasons on be confident how you placed it. If you took reasonably sized as wanting for something larger than smaller, then make sure you specify that when giving reasons, even when you place a class completely wrong. If this scenario is not clear, you gain points in your reasons by making it evident what you believe and how you led to make your decision in placing. Yeah, that's correct. So thank you for writing that, David. Even though you might have placed them wrong, it's good to be convincing and reassuring, because even though it was pretty close between 3 and 2 on that one, you still want to give that definitive answer when you're giving your reasons to get those points that you may lose if you're kind of low on the placings. Anything else anyone would like to point out on this scenario? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. So the next one is going to be coffee maker, another, I would say, essential household appliance. Some of you younger Maybe you drink some high school and coffee, or coffee in high school, but probably not too much. I was one of those. I thought coffee was disgusting for the longest time, and I really didn't even drink it that much in college. It took until I had a full-time job for me to get a coffee maker and really into coffee, because needed that extra boost. But a lot of people said when I was growing up that I would eventually get into it in college. So, but yeah, something that people really like to do. So, if you guys want to get ready, I'll give you a few moments and for the next scenario. And I'll make sure that we are not on the wrong page. I'll zoom in a little bit. I don't know if I can do it on this one. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started, and you'll have 6 minutes. Okay, we have about a minute left. Fifteen seconds. Okay, and time. Okay. So some of the features that we're looking at. You want a single serve. You wanted multiple brewing options. A large reservoir. He had a price point he was looking to stay under. Okay. So it looks like we have some little bit difference at the top again between the first product and the second product, or the place product. Does anyone have any insight or input on why they placed 1/4 or 4/1? Emily, do you have a? Okay. Emily says 4/1 because it has a single serve and it's the name of the product. Okay. Is there any ones that Jackson or David, you guys want to explain why you chose 1/4? Yeah, so all of them are single serve. So all of them are single serve. The number 3 has a carafe that you can make a pot of coffee in. And that's the only real difference with. Right. Yeah, so we'll get into the reasons. So the placing was 1, 4, 2, 3. The coffee maker, option number 1, was what all the Chance is looking for. The single serve, the large reservoir, the multiple brewing options under budget. This is the best option for Chance. Basically, this had a couple more brewing options with iced coffee and let's see what, yeah, more brew options. It has, I think, the largest reservoir of the products listed. And then option 4 was the next best single serve option. It has a large reservoir, but not as large as option 1. Option 4 has multiple brewing options and sizes, but not quite as many as option 1. That's why option 1 was placed higher. The price is below budget, and that was actually cheaper than option 1. And then the third placing was Coffee Maker 2, which is best brace versus price point. The Coffee Maker does not have any options other than brew sizes or brewing styles, which is why 4 is placed over 2. Option 2 also has the smallest reservoir option because it really didn't have one. And it had a single serve option, which Chance was looking for. And then 3 was placed last to the price. It was over budget. He's a college kid. He's gotta save his pennies. The Coffee Maker has multiple brewing sizes and has options, but has the craft, which Chance does not need because he lives by himself. And then the reservoir was on the smaller end of 1 and 4, which is interesting because I had the carafe option as well. Does anyone have any questions about those reasons and why they were placed the way that they were? Okay. I'm not hearing any. So do you guys want to do a third scenario tonight? We have about 20 minutes left in our time block. If I'm hearing none, I'm guessing that's a green light to go ahead, and we'll do the next scenario. So the next scenario is the blender, which was one of my favorites growing up. I really like ice cream, and I had an infatuation with milkshakes for a while, so I would make myself a milkshake pretty often when I was growing up, and like I said before, I just thought it was a lot of fun to mess with all the buttons and stuff. I was just making a milkshake, so it really didn't matter what buttons I pushed on the blender to mix things up. But yeah, we'll go ahead and give you a few moments to kind of get ready, and I'll let you know when we get started. Okay, there's a scenario. I'll start the timer 6 minutes, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, we have less than a minute left, about 50 seconds. About 15 seconds. Okay, and time. All right, so if you guys want to go ahead and put your placings in the chat box. For Greg, recent college graduate, who's beginning his weight loss journey. He's getting in the gym, he's working out, starting 2021 off right. Looking for his blender, personalized blender. He needs parts and attachments. He's making money, but will not want to spend over $150 with his first career. But he's wanting some new recipes to try out with his blender. Okay. So we got, looks like we have a pretty good consensus so far. Of what the placing is. Quick, we're all consensus right now. Give a few more seconds. Okay, so left looking at these. So obviously 4. It does everything that he's looking for, but it's a little bit out of his price point. So he's on a budget, so he's trying to save that money. So he's not gonna. So that's obviously the last choice. So we're all good there. What were some of your guys' reasoning for placing 3 over 2? Is there anything specific about those 2 that you placed one over the other? More blending speeds and cheaper. Okay. Very good. Yeah, no recipes though. I have to look those up. But yeah, you guys were all correct. We'll go down the reasons here. So placing 1, 3, 2, 4. Blender 1, best option for Greg. Personalized blender. It's under his yeah, recipes wasn't needing out of want. Very true. Very true. Is dishwasher safe? Includes a recipe book, so that's a bonus for Greg. Blender 3 is Greg's next best option. Personalized blender, dishwasher safe, is under his budget, has 2 speeds. It does not come with a recipe book, which was a want. What makes this blender less ideal for Greg compared to one that there are only 2 speeds? where the top one had, let's see how many speeds it had, 5 speeds. Wow. Did not come with the rescue book. It makes oh, sorry, I got lost track there. All right, Blender 2 meets Greg's budget since it's less than $150. Dishwasher safe. Does not meet the other requirements and preferences of the blender. Blender does not have multiple speeds and does not come with a rescue book. Blender 4 is just outside Greg's price range. Last option for Greg, and the blender had some of the requirements, but the price range was the last part that couldn't fit into the equation. So that's all that I have tonight. We'll, like always, stick around and answer any question you guys have, any specifics on tonight's scenarios, and hopefully you guys are staying safe and recovered from the winter storm last week. We're thawing out just nicely, I would say, today. With I think we hit 80. But enjoy the weather, and hopefully we don't have to deal with anything like that for a long time. Have a good night, everyone.
All right, thanks, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. We'll stay on a few minutes in case y'all have questions.